We're going to continue with a short one, 7 minutes, by Rudy Vandamme. And he's a psychologist, and he really wants to contribute, who doesn't, I would say, to the ecologization, what a word, eh? Of our present worldview, lifestyle, and professional activity. And his focus is really on professionals, and that's, I find, intriguing. He is designing communicative methods that help professionals to emancipate and educate their clients. So it's something we forget, that these professionals have an enormous network that can be reached. So these professionals are very important. So that's what he's going to talk about, and he has developed a model called the fork model, and that helps professionals to integrate the ecological worldview into their work with the clients. And I think, yeah, they are a forgotten case, but there's a lot out here that are professionals. So you have the right audience here. Okay, there you go.
So you have here, I'm a professional, and I'm a psychologist. The fact is that today, a lot of best practices are already available. In the last 2 years, incredible new pioneering ideas are coming up. So the question for me is, how can we reach the large public? How can we accelerate the distribution of those best practices? You can think about sensibility campaigns by government or laws, or you can think about sustainable solutions. My contribution is to engage professionals. I want professionals to do more than just helping their clients or delivering services. I want them to educate and inspire their clients to live a more ecological lifestyle. And by professionals, you see, I mean all sorts of people who are working with other people. So many of you are a professional or will be somebody who is working with other people. But you are educated in the boundaries of your specialization. And my question is, why are not more professionals involved in the endeavor to be part of a big ecological revolution? Why are they trapped in the boundaries of their own specialization? So what I'm doing, in fact, in my work as a psychologist, I'm a trainer in communication and coaching skills. So in the last 15 years, I've worked with a large range of those professionals. Worked with general practitioners, lawyers, leaders in organization, teachers. This large range has enabled me to see a pattern. In fact, a young professional who is entering an organization, take for example a novice teacher or a junior nurse. They are educated, and when they are 25, they are entering an organization, and then they are trapped in a process of socialization. It's difficult for them to resist the pressure of their professional group because they want to be a member of their community. So when I'm working with those professionals in my communication trainings, I listen also to their stories. I just connect with them. And we have to really never point at those professionals, nor policymakers, researchers, general practitioners, teachers. Don't point to them, because a lot of them are suffering, just like we are. And when I listen to their stories, sometimes they feel trapped in the narrowing space of their specialization, or they are imprisoned in a middle-class lifestyle, and they are earning money to pay a house. Or they have to meet all sorts of bureaucratic standards. They are not really free. And they are suppressing their highest values. So when I listen to them, I want to help them to go through a transformative process for themselves to start with. And I can tell you, when I was 3 years ago in a sabbatical leave, I went through that process myself. And I really invite you to go through a transformative process. Because what we need is to empower ourselves to become cultural creators. In my sabbatical, I followed a sustainability course, not with my head, but with my heart and my belly in Findhorn in Scotland. You know that eco-village in Scotland, Findhorn? And there you learn about sustainability. Or in Schumacher College, you don't only learn about it, you start to considering the world. And the process I went through is the process I also use to guide my professionals. First of all, when you consider the facts and you start to consider the world and feeling what is going on, well, we went in that course through emotions of anxiety about our future. We are afraid. And we also became angry, like the indignators. We became angry about our own greediness too, and about consumerism. And we suffer from our alienation with nature. But we also connected again. So any course you follow on sustainability, I hope you connect with your love to nature. When coming home from my sabbatical, I sold my car, and I drive my bike now, and I start to smell the air, to feel the wind. And I start my vegetable garden, and I'm cooking again my own food, and tasting my food. And I'm contacting my neighborhood, I'm engaged in voluntary work, and I work less. I have time. Because of that process, emotions, and that connection, ecology became part of my identity. And that's a very important point. If ecology is not really part of your mindset and your identity, your behavior will not change. So what I will invite professionals to do, meanwhile, when they are following a communication training, to reflect on their own professional identity and their role in society. How do you really feel about your work, about your specialization? What are your highest values? And professionals start to reflect. And I have to tell you, professionals really suffer, but they are open and they are looking around, how can we re-educate ourselves? The second model I'm using, this is the fourth model, I'm using to redefine what it is to be a professional these days in our society. There are 4 tracks of attention. And the first thing to do is professionals can empower their clients, students, employees, citizens. They can empower them to reflect, to become self-reliant. Of course, the specialization is still the basis of their self-confidence. That's what we keep. But they have also an identity. You put your identity into the encounter with your clients, students, employees. The client is not an object to be fixed. Most important at all, I learned professionals to contribute to the development of society and humanity. This is quite new for them because normally they help their clients or students in the boundaries of their specialization, in their professional community. And what I would like to do is to enlarge their scope so they become aware how their specialization contributes to bigger issues. That's new for them to think about this definition of being a professional these days. But it's for all of us important, if you will become a professional, of course you are already, and you work with other people, think about your own transformative process, your emotions, and your deep ecological connection with nature. And that's why, as a baseline for this model, what we need from the psychological point of view is that anybody is connecting his deeper emotions and his values to the larger developments in society. That's a psychological perspective. And today, I really think that psychology has to be added to all good ideas. There are a lot of beautiful ideas, but we need professionals to reach the large public. And if all professionals are engaged in this, then we will accelerate the distribution of best practices. Thanks.
Rudy. Well, I'm sure you've put that up on the board, or you don't have to put it up on the board because you're here on the red spot. But you're trying to connect up with some people, you told me over lunch, to see who is really on that interdisciplinary edge, the eco-psychologist, let's say. We're not so strong in that psychology part. The sociology is better, I think. But whoever's here in the audience and wants to connect up, please go to you,
I
Rudy.
said I felt lonely in my endeavor.
Yeah.
Because in my own specialty, psychology, there is no connection with ecology.
No, and that's missing.
Yes.
And I think ecologists miss it too, because we have to, indeed,
integrate
with them. So that's a very, very good lesson, and we'll
Thanks.
continue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.